All right, today we're diving into a really powerful concept, one that can totally reshape how you think about business and competition. We're talking about value innovation and how it can help you create brand new markets where you're the only one playing.
So let's just start with this question right here, because it really gets to the heart of the matter. You know, we're all taught that business is about competition, right? About being better than the other guy. But what if that's the wrong game entirely? Why would you fight tooth and nail for just a tiny slice of an existing pie when you could just go out and bake a whole new one for yourself?
And this idea really comes to life when you think about these two different market spaces. On one side, you've got the red ocean. It's called that because the water is just bloody with competition. Everyone's a shark fighting over the same limited pool of customers. It gets crowded, profits get squeezed, and honestly, it's exhausting. But then, you've got the blue ocean. This is wide open, uncontested market space. It's vast, it's deep, and it's all yours. Out here, you're not trying to beat anyone because there's no one to beat. You're creating new demand and making all that competition just irrelevant.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you get there? How do you sail out of those bloody red waters and into that clear blue ocean? Well, the engine that powers that journey, the absolute cornerstone of this whole strategy, is something called value innovation.
So what in the world is value innovation? Well, it's not just about tweaking a product to be a little bit better, and it's not just about cutting your costs. The magic word here is simultaneous. It's about chasing after differentiation and low cost at the exact same time. Think about that for a second. The goal is to create this massive leap in value for your customers while also completely rethinking your costs. When you pull that off, that's when you unlock a new market.
And this is so important because this idea of getting both differentiation and low cost, well, it completely breaks one of the oldest rules in the business playbook.
For literally decades, the thinking in business has always been about a trade-off. You could either create a really high-value, premium product and charge a lot for it, or you could be the low-cost leader. You had to choose, right? You could be the fancy luxury car, or you could be the no-frills budget airline. The idea that you could somehow be both was just not on the table.
But that's the whole point. Value innovation comes in and just shatters that old trade-off. The breakthrough is realizing you don't have to choose. By focusing intensely on what your customers actually value and having the courage to get rid of everything else they don't care about, you can create something that's both amazingly different and has a low-cost structure. It's not about doing more. It's about doing things differently to create a huge jump in value. That's the engine.
Now, I know this might sound great in theory, but you're probably wondering, does this stuff actually work out in the real world? And the answer is a resounding yes. The real power of this strategy becomes obvious when you look at the companies that have actually pulled it off.
Yeah, this isn't just some academic theory. The whole idea is built on studying real companies that created new markets out of nowhere. I mean, think about Cirque du Soleil. They didn't try to make a better circus, they blended the circus with theater and created this whole new category of entertainment for adults. Or think about the Nintendo Wii. It totally ignored the race for better graphics and instead created a new way for the whole family to play games together. You see this pattern again and again.
And when you dig into what these companies did, a few key things jump out. First, they stopped obsessing over their competitors. Cirque du Soleil wasn't trying to one-up Ringling Brothers. Instead, they completely redefined the problem. They basically asked, how can we create something for adults who go to the theater? This led them to create a totally new value curve, which is just a way to see what an industry focuses on. They cut out expensive stuff like animal acts and star performers, which dropped their costs way down. And then they added new, sophisticated things like artistic themes and original music, which created that amazing differentiation. It's this beautiful alignment of utility, price, and cost, all in one package.
So, after seeing how this all works, the big question kind of turns back to you, right? How can you take these ideas and apply them? How do you find your own blue ocean? So, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. It's about a fundamental shift in your thinking. The goal is not to be the best player in a crowded game. The goal is to invent a whole new game. A game where the old rules and the old competitors just don't even matter anymore.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. Every single industry, I don't care what it is, runs on a set of unwritten rules. These "we've always done it this way" beliefs. Value innovation is all about finding those rules and having the guts to challenge them. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what industry rules are you ready to break?